A massive thank you to Kevin, Ulysses, BPH, Raj and Rikalon for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with more F1 2021. Yes, returning once again today with our My Team career mode. Of course, if you missed out on the last video from this series, definitely recommend going back and checking it out. Of course, episode 100 was, a very special 100% Grand Prix here on this game. That is your warning for spoilers, though. But yeah, of course, there will be spoilers in just one moment. Of course, as well, if you're interested in some Gran Turismo 7 content, I'm going to be leaving a link down to my second channel below. Yesterday, we uploaded sort of my first video where we went through and just did a very sort of quick fire wheel guide, for those of you guys that are on Fanatec hardware, giving you guys some tips and tricks, ready to try and get the maximum out of your stuff. But of course, that means by no means we're going to be dropping any of the F1 2021 content. I think I'm going to be rather busy over the next couple of weeks with racing content for you guys. So yeah, if you want to go check that out, we just hit 1,000 subscribers over there. And if you can click that like, click that follow, everything like that, it would be greatly appreciated, if you want to see more GT7 content. But today though, my team, we head to Portimao for round 4 of the year. Championship-wise, Verstappen's been on a bit of a tear over the last couple of races there. 2 race victories in a row. The Red Bull man is just starting to build a bit of momentum at the moment there. We're still P2 in the championship after a very rough Chinese Grand Prix and a very eventful Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix there. Just 3 points ahead of our teammate Pierre Gasly there. Perez still in 4th ahead of both Mercedes, which means currently we're 5 points ahead of Red Bull in the constructors here. But Portimao again was a track actually both seasons, to be fair. Season 4 when we came here, I bottled it on the very last lap, and then season 5 when we came here, we had an engine failure pretty early on in the race. It's not been a track that served me well. Even in the Williams RTG, we had a massive crash with Sebastian Vettel here as well. So fingers crossed, Portimao today can go our way just a little bit more. But yeah, if you're new around here as well, and you do go on to enjoy the video, get yourself subscribed as well for more F1 2021. Trying to hit 40k subs at the moment, and yeah, if you could help us get one step closer, it would be massively appreciated. But yeah, let's dive in then here to the Portuguese Grand Prix. Right, well here we are then, back in Portugal. Must admit, yeah, still, despite not having much luck here at Portimao on F1 2021, I think it genuinely is one of my favourite circuits. It's such a different and unique challenge to what a lot of you get in Formula 1 nowadays. There is a nice snap of oversteer to kickstart free practice, but fingers crossed we can just keep it clean and tidy around this lap.
Watch your MFD for the activation point.
Not quite able to maximise the first few corners, but yeah, we'll see how the session goes, of course. Friday here is all about trying to tweak the setup, seeing what works with the car. It's like I said, just such a weird little circuit, you need to run quite an obscure out-of-the-box setup a lot of the time. End of our first lap. Oh, just missed out on the purple.
Let's try and perfect each turn.
Let's do another one then. Oh, Jeff, just behave, mate. We know what we're doing. Let's try and get purple this time. And around in the final corner then to finish off our second lap. Definitely going to need to tweak a few things on the setup, but that should be good enough for purple. Let's just wait and see. Yes, it is. At the final corner, though, we're just about, I think, going to be able to get the purple score on the ERS test there. Yeah, by about a 1/10 of a second in the end. Let's get into qualifying. Right, well, heading straight out then into Q2 for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Pace is looking very close between a lot of the front runners there. Mercedes seem to have made a bit of a step forward. They're right up on level with Red Bull and ourselves once again, so I have to wait and see what they can do as the sessions go by there. It's just trying to guess our way through turn 1 is a bit of a knife edge there, as tipping it through the first few corners. Just got to keep it clean and tidy at the moment there and try to roll on the power. First lap on the medium's just going to be a representative, and then we'll see what we can do when we get onto a fresh set of softs. Heading out the final corner then to finish off our first run in a pretty tidy lap, actually, around Portimao. What is the time going to be? It's going to be a 1:15.1. So basically matching the Tiffy and Giovinazzi there. Quicker than Aitken. Clearly he's had some sort of issue. But yeah, not a bad lap, actually, on the mediums. There is Sainz now in his Ferrari. They're another team looking fast once more. Could he make it 2 poles in a row? Just crossing over halfway through this second session, though. We're going to go out on the set of softs that we use in our Q1 run. Fingers crossed now we should be able to dip in towards sort of the mid to high 14s there. But I'm pretty certain that lap, actually, on those mediums was not too shabby. Let's just wait and see then as we're trying to get in 6th gear through turn 1. They just carry a bit more momentum. Run a little bit wide on the exit, but you're allowed your wheels over the curbing. Because we have actually now just got an engine warning light flashing up. Might mean we have to take penalties come the race. What percentage are we at? Ooh, 60% on the control electronics there. Does not bode well, but should be able to see us through this weekend. See, rounding the final couple of corners though, 7/10 up now as we head out towards the start-finish line once again. So it is going to be a mid to low 14, and it is going to put us P5 at the moment now, right behind Gasly. 4/10 off Tsunoda though. Yeah, a couple of cars very, very fast here, but that should be enough to see us through, but we'll have to do one last run just in case. Portimao as well is one of those weird circuits where I always think the lap times are much longer than they are. Their fastest guys already down into the 113s. It's kind of wild when you consider everything that this track's got on it as well. But we're going to have a few cars peeling out of the pit lane there. Luckily, they shouldn't hold us up too badly. It's all back end bottoms out through turn 1. Just kicks out the back end slightly, but luckily, yeah, this thing's so predictable and got so much grip. That's hardly going to be the end of the world. There's we get a really nice run up over the top of the hill there. Now fractionally back up in the green, but Jack Aitken just sort of sat in the way as we head out of the hairpin there. Still finding little bits of time here and there, though. This is trying to give ourselves sort of the baseline that we need to be aiming for in Q3. But Aitken, yeah, down in P14, is not helping me out at the moment there. Come on, move out of the way, Jack. Clearly see us behind you, mate. We're coming at you with a lot of speed. Whether he thinks we're another car that's just come out of the pits, but surely Mercedes should be the ones warning him about us. This is really, really frustrating. Come on, Jack Aitken. We're losing plenty of time now, right tucked under the rear wing of the Mercedes. I don't think we're going to improve on this final lap unless we get a really nice run out of the final corner there and get a bit of slipstream up towards the line. But Jack Aitken has really, really held us up there. We are going to find a bit more delta as we head up towards the line there, but it's going to be a marginal improvement. It puts us ahead of Pierre, though. That's how close it was between myself and Gasly. But, yeah, not happy with Aitken there. But that should be us into Q3. Well, there we go then. Max Verstappen setting the pace at the end of Q2 ahead of Charles Leclerc and, annoyingly, Jack Aitken. We're out, though, in Q2. I hadn't even spotted that at the end of the session there. I'd never considered that many cars would have gone quicker than us, and Jack Aitken has cost me there. We're about 2/10 up on that second run, and then Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas have found the pace there, so we are actually out in Q2 for the Portuguese Grand Prix. I mean, I guess we may as well take those grid penalties then this weekend rather than next. We'll start at the back then, put a whole fresh engine in the back of the car there, but yeah, definitely now not happy with Jack Aitken there. Less than a second off fastest there. I mean, half a second off our teammate Pierre Gasly. But that's us out in Q2 for the Portuguese Grand Prix. We have now got a mountain to climb.
The 2022 F1 season kicks off in just a couple of weeks' time, and now with all the car reveals out the way, we have got official merch drops from basically every F1 team. Available now, the Aston Martin 2022 range, as well as the all-new Williams pack, and then of course, the Mercedes 2022 range drop has also been released. I'm definitely going to be copping myself some George Russell merch as well. But yeah, links down below, there is merch available for every team, and of course, if you use the links, you massively help support the channel.
The Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. So Portimao features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9 mile length. 9 are right-handers, 6 are to the left, and this is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Tsunoda, Norris, Ricciardo, Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou, Ireland, Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi and Russell, Lundgaard, Aitken, Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, Schwartzman and Mr. Monaco. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Well, here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Portuguese Grand Prix here from Portimao, and starting from the back, not exactly where I wanted to be for this one, but like I said, we have put a whole fresh engine in the back of the car, so fingers crossed, as the race goes on today, we can have some good pace underneath us there. Soft medium might be doable today, but it's likely we'll have to do the soft hard compound tyres for this one, but, you know, ever there was going to be a race where we'd be willing to put it all on the line, I think today has got to be that day. The key early on, though, just navigate all of these backmarker cars. You know, the Haas are going to be so much slower than us on a lap round here that really getting stuck behind them for a couple of corners could make the difference at the end of this one. Waiting on those 5 red lights, though. And it is going to be lights out and away we go. And oh my, we've actually overtaken a car off the start of the Grand Prix there. We might overtake 2 as we head down towards turn 1. A decent start on F1 2021, it doesn't happen often there, so we've got to be super careful of everyone else concertinaing up at the start here, but super careful, but super aggressive as well, as I think that was Nikita Mazepin trying to turn into me as we head up the hill off the start there, but brilliant little start now as we'll have a look to the inside of Sir Lancelot. Always a good opportunity to make up places early on here. Of course, Kimi Räikkönen back in 2020 there, able to make a lot of moves early on in the Portuguese Grand Prix, but at the front, looks like it's still Verstappen who leads the way there, but Gasly has got in between himself and Sergio Perez, so that's exactly what we need this weekend. Gasly sort of helping us out in the battle against the Bulls, but yeah, up into 18th place then off the start of the race. Might be able to have a look for a move at the inside of Ocon. Thought about it at the top of the hill there, but yeah, not quite close enough that time round to make anything happen. Might get a run down the other side though, straight at the inside of Esteban Ocon. Got to make the moves very, very decisive, I should say, on these backmarker cars, just so they know, you are coming through. So it might be a case today of myself and Jack Aitken having to try and work together. Not too sure I'm fond of that idea after what he did to me in qualifying, but getting now a good run on George Russell as we head down the hill. We made the move on his teammate a lap ago. And that's both Aston Martins navigated in this GP.
Nice
yeah,
move.
we've got to be
Good
picking
job.
off cars. Team happy with that one. Lundgaard up next in his Alfa Romeo. Of course, they're not really backmarkers anymore in this career mode as we try and get a run up the hill, plunging back down the other side. I love the elevation change here at Portimao. To the inside of Lundgaard will go. Oh, he turns in on me. We made that very clear very early there, Christian. We do now make it up into P15. Decisive opening laps here as we're not too far away from Aitken and Latifi, but Ilott separating us still. Are we going to be able to get a run at the final couple of corners there? The Williams on the hard tyres, so I'm not too sure what Williams have got planned in terms of strategy today. But we should be able to get a run out of the final corner there as Verstappen still sets the pace. It's going to be a drag race back down towards turn 1. We're on the inside. And both Williams are going to get jumped into turn 1 there. Up at a P14 now of the race is Latifi. I mean, we might be close enough to go for a move in towards turn 5 again if we can get a run out of here. Don't think quite this time. Yeah, Williams on hard versus our car on soft tyres at the moment. Shouldn't be too much of a fight, as we won't send it up the inside here.
Although Latifi tends to have better awareness than Christian Lundgaard. Down the hill though once more. Do the old up and under. We got yellow flags out. Luckily it's going to be behind us, as I think that's George Russell pulling over to the wayside early on in the Portuguese Grand Prix there. Not what Mercedes or Aston Martin want. Reliability already seeming to be an issue on those Mercedes-powered cars. But yeah, George Russell out of the Portuguese Grand Prix at only the end of lap 3. Aitken though.
Start actively conserving fuel, please, or we won't be finishing today. Gap to
I think we will.
Is 1.7 seconds.
And then Jeff says exactly what I was going to. Aitken, a couple of seconds up the road. Oh, here we go. Aitken and Giovinazzi side by side as we head back down towards turn 1. Aitken though on the inside. That should be a pretty done deal there, as haven't actually got much pace on the Merc at the moment there, but that's not going to help us as we clobber the sausage curb through turn 3. Yeah, I've got definitely a lot more pace than Gio in front, but once we get towards that top 10 it's going to be difficult to start picking cars off. All over the back now of Antonio Giovinazzi as we head in through the first sector once more. Yeah, we seem to be able to get a lot closer around a lot of the lap, but then it's turn 4 the AI tend to be super strong at. Jack Aitken though again just starting to pull a bit of distance on me. You're trying to look past the Alfa Romeo as soon as possible. We've already proven on these slower cars you can make moves around a lot of parts of this circuit you wouldn't always expect to. This has been one of them where if you can get the power down, you can actually get very close to the car in front. We are gaining. Made a move here on his teammate earlier on, but not going to do that again. Whoa, big snap of oversteer though as he try and plunge down the hill. Oh, have a look to the outside maybe of Antonio Giovinazzi. No, just cuts off that one. It's the back end really struggling actually under dirty air this weekend. I think where we've got the ride height so high there, but now we're going to have a look to the inside of Antonio as we head through the final corner. Just squeeze him out through that final turn there. He's going to have the DRS. No, he's not. We are still.
The gap to the car
Goodbye.
increasing by
Guan Yu Zhou seemingly struggling a little bit in his Alpha Tauri as we head out of the final corner there. Just lost the place to Aitken and is very much immediately fallen back in towards our clutches. We need to try and have a look past the Alpha Tauri now as soon as possible as we head back through turn 1. That's the line I want to be hitting more through that first corner. I mean, look at this. The way we can close up to the Chinese driver under braking is kind of insane. It's just how much we lose on throttle on corner exit there, but still closing in on Guan Yu Zhou there. As to the outside, no, definitely not going to find anything there. But hopefully not going to be too long before we navigate in there. Every time we just gain about a second on Aitken when he's trying to battle these cars, and then lose about a second to Aitken once he's made the move work, and then we get stuck with all the dirty air and everything like that. Makes it very much a game of cat and mouse between myself and our fellow Brit. But we definitely, you know, it's a lot more personal between myself and Aitken this weekend, a bit like it was between us and Bottas last time round. I'm making a lot of enemies, it feels like, in this series, but hopefully we're about to move ourselves over to P11 of the Grand Prix there to try and get a good run at the final corner. Can never use ERS out through this final turn there. It always just upset the back end, but we're much closer this time as Zhou's teammate Lando Norris into the pits, our former teammate in the box. Around the outside, and that's both Alpha Towers navigated on the front straight, a little bit wide through turn 1. But we will say thank you very much. No, we won't. Guan Yu Zhou tried to stick the nose back up the inside there. A little bit of fight from the AI, but not when it's completely unexpected like that.
Pierre is in for his stop.
Seems a little bit early for Pierre Gasly to be into the box. I mean, we're trying to go, I'm looking to lap 15 and then trying to go mediums to the end of the race, but these tyres are not going to be fun towards the end of the stint. Gasly as well as Sainz in the box though, so we are gaining places as Gasly's almost got a pit stop over me. Oh, Lundgaard out in the Grand Prix now. That mechanical failure looks to be Christian Lundgaard out of the GP. Oh, here we go. Starting to see a few more cars into the box then, so I wonder if Gasly's on an alternate strategy to a lot of these guys. Maybe our teammates on the 2-stop, but yeah, one Red Bull, one Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren into the pits, so we're now up at a 4th, but Aitken is looking rapid at the moment there. Speaking of rapid, Gasly, new fastest lap of the day, but he's on a 2-stop, and Verstappen ahead of him, and has made his last stop of the race. Does not bode well at the moment, but yeah, we're really struggling for pace behind Aitken and Ricciardo. There we go. Last handful of cars into the box
We're
then.
going to box this lap. Push hard on the in lap.
Not too sure where I'm going on the run back down towards turn 1, but fingers crossed we can try and stay in the lead till we pit. And yeah, we are going to try and go 2 extra laps and then go on to mediums. Heading around the final couple of corners then of lap 15, about to come into the box. Supposed to be a little bit of the team though. Yeah, I was kind of hoping Verstappen would close up to me a bit quicker so I could back him in towards Gasly. That hasn't been the case. We're going to try and nail the pit entry. That was pretty decent there, hopefully for our one and only stop of the day. But I think we're going to come out around where the Williams are then in this GP. Mainly a couple of seconds behind, perhaps the second one. I think it's Ilott that's still running behind his teammate here. But they're running a very, very aggressive strategy today. Intrigued to see how Williams will get on. Let's try and get a nice, tidy stop though. 2.9 is pretty awful, to be honest, on F1 2021 there, as here comes Callum Ilott.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. 1 stop left.
We definitely won't be team back out of the pits. 17, 18 laps to go of this GP. And yeah, now we've got to try and fight our way back into contention here with fresher, softer rubber. Heading out of the final corner then. Now closing in towards Callum Ilott once again.
Target, we need to start aggressively conserving our fuel reserve.
Team's still worried about fuel, surely. They've seen what we can do on F1 2021. Oh, we got yellow flags out though. Thought about going for a move on Callum Ilott, but won't be able to now. Who's got issues then in this Grand Prix? Are we now going to be able to get a run on him? Yeah, I think it was the Haskell then. Trying to get out of the way. He's up the inside of Callum Ilott. We'll go sneak our way down the inside there. And always satisfying when you can get a send done in towards that hairpin, especially when the track falls away from you. Team happy with that one as well. And yeah, up now into P12 once again. So look at this Schwartzman getting a little bit in the way as we try and close up to the second Williams into laps. We might be actually close enough this time round to get a run on the Latifi down in towards turn 1 there, as long as we can get back on the ERS nice and early. Try and get a good slingshot out of the final corner there, and it looks like we have done so. To the inside of the Canadian, try and get fully in front of him, and we'll swipe back in front of the Williams there, try and keep it between the white lines. And yeah, now we're going to be... Oh, why do the AI keep trying that in towards turn 3? Never going to allow it to happen there, as now we've got Aitken and Bottas 4 seconds up the road in a huge, huge gaggle of cars here, all trying to navigate. I think it's Mick Schumacher, it must be. Here we go, Pierre in again. So he's done 2 laps on each set of those soft compound tyres there, and surely now he's going to go mediums to the end of this GP. But we're now inside the DRS of Jack Aitken in front. But a lot of cars we've got to try and pick our way through here. I'm not too sure which other car's in the pits. Is it Ferrari? Yes, it is. Sainz in again. So Ferrari weirdly trying to 2-stop there. So we're now back up inside the points into 9th. But Red Bull now, yeah, unless we get a safety car, they've pretty much got a clear run to the end. And Verstappen, yeah, might be able to make it 3 wins in a row in the first 4 races of this campaign. Right, come on then, Aitken. Let's see what you've got as we head through the final couple of corners there. I think we might start to struggle to look past the AI, because generally these guys are pretty good down the front straightaways. We've got more cars in. Why is it on? Yeah, Norris as well. Obviously 2-stopping in this GP as we try and close up to Aitken, but not able to get close enough to the Mercedes rookie. That's not quite where I wanted to be either there. Luckily we somehow get it slowed down. That was a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment, but yeah, we've lost a good second from it, but didn't take anyone out. That's the most important thing. Just keep it calm, Matt. Just overcook the rear slightly. Right, starting to get a little bit worried. We might just spend a bit too much time sat behind Jack Aitken at the moment there. Is just, again, still pushing on this rubber. We need to try and look for a move on the Merc sooner rather than later here, as we're going to cross in 10 laps to go of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Can we get the power down out of the final turn? Again, though, we're going to get really, really close. Just don't have much confidence through this final corner there. Use the battery once more. We are gaining slightly on him. Still gaining. Team want us in again there, as Gasly only 2 seconds back. Not too sure how we're going to decide this with our teammate, but need to try and get past Aitken now. Up the inside we'll go there. Again, back end try to wobble in frustration, but that might be one of the harder overtakes I have to make today. That Merc pretty quick down the straight. And of course Bottas, yeah, has got no DRS to defend himself. So hopefully the Finn is going to be slightly easier pickings. Right, come on then. VB77, not still a fan of Valtteri at the moment, so fingers crossed we're going to be able to pull a move on him as we head out of the final corner. Like I said, Bottas, no DRS to defend himself, so this should be a nice simple move as we head back down in towards turn 1 there. Gasly going even faster, but luckily we're putting cars between myself and my teammate.
Just set the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, back up now into P6 of this race, and the podium not far in front at all, as one of the Red Bulls actually struggling then, it looks like. Has Checo got issues in this GP? He's fallen right back towards us. Let's just see then if Checo's slowed down the front straightaway here, as we're going to have Yuki Tsunoda trying to apply some pressure to him. How have we gone fastest? Was not expecting that at this stage of the day, but I guess we'll take it there. As it looks like... Oh no, it's Verstappen with issues. Not Sergio Perez here. And look at this, the concertina and up. Verstappen really struggling in that Red Bull there, as we'll pick off his old teammate Danny Rick as we head out of the first sector. But yeah, Verstappen turns out the one with problems here, and that really does open up the championship a lot. I mean, all these guys, come on, you got to try and make moves on him there. We'll go around the outside of Leclerc as well, making moves left, right and centre at the moment.
Brings you up a place.
But yeah, 8 laps to go with the Grand Prix there, as Leclerc, I think, sort of watched me go around the outside and thought, actually, maybe I do need to be trying to go for some overtakes. Verstappen really struggling in his Red Bull car here as we head up towards the top of the hill, up the inside of our title rival, and 3 positions made up on this lap there as we get a huge snap of oversteer on the exit. Verstappen tried to have a look back up the inside there, but just doesn't have the grunt down the straights to do anything. And now Yuki Tsunoda up to P2 of the Grand Prix there as he tries to navigate his way around Nikita Mazepin. Hopefully the Russian will move out the way for us. So get a big wobble out the final corner. And yeah, Verstappen just going backwards at the moment. Luckily Nikita's given us some DRS as we head back down towards turn 1. But we've flown past him quicker than he flew out of an F1 ride. Oh, there we go, yellow flags as well. Oh no, I think it was just Mazepin going slowly. Or I should say racing at his top speed. Right, well, the last Mercedes we had to overtake was quite a pain. Let's see if Tsunoda's going to be able to do anything, again, without any DRS there as we head through the final couple of turns. Just try and get off that ERS and then straight back on it again once the car's confident underneath you. Gaining. Second lap, we're closing in on Tsunoda. But we're not going to close enough before we get back in towards turn 1. Are we going to do what we did to his teammate Jack Aitken? No, Tsunoda just late enough on the brakes there as Checo 12 seconds up the road, heading out of the first sector, though again not quite able to get close enough to Yuki unless we can go for a send, which we will. Thank you very much. Having to be brave on the overtakes today, but that's probably, well, hopefully, I think, to be honest, going to be the last of them, unless it is on Sergio Perez there. Straight up back into P2. Remember, of course, we started this one right from the very back, but a bit of an asterisk, of course, alongside it. Verstappen with issues. It would have only been P3. Not too sure whether Verstappen's just had a temporary issue in this Grand Prix, because he plummeted like a stone down into 5th place and hasn't really lost anything else since then. So yeah, now he's all over the back of Charles Leclerc again. Maybe he's back into fighting form there, but fingers crossed 3 laps to go of this race. Even if he just gets back past Leclerc, Tsunoda and I should have that little margin of safety. But yeah, if things were to finish as they are now, there'd be just 2 points between us in the championship. And Perez, yeah, could be our 3rd winner in 4 Grand Prix. When's Gasly going to get a dub, man? That's what I want to see. Pierre Gasly on top in Formula 1. Well, about to start the final lap then here from Portimao, and safe to say after a dismal qualifying session yesterday, a bit like Shanghai, we've recovered pretty well today, to be honest.
Final lap of the race.
Things kind of have fallen into place though for us. Like I said, Verstappen with his issues, as well as everyone else on a not the best strategy in the world. It looks like Verstappen might just make the move work on Leclerc as we head onto this final lap. But Sergio Perez only took a couple of wins last season. It might have even just been the one, actually, if I remember correctly, at the British Grand Prix. He's going to get back on the chalkboard once more here and win in Portimao. But yeah, reliability questions raised slightly over these Ferrari power units, but don't think it's anything too major to worry about this early on into the campaign. Reliability is always a talking point in Formula 1, especially in the My Team career mode here. But rounding the final few corners then here from Portugal. To be honest, I think, yeah, this probably constitutes as our first good Portuguese Grand Prix there. 22nd to second, unless we do something stupid in these final few corners there. But Sergio Perez, rounding the final few turns, he is going to walk away with the dub here from Portugal. We come through, though, rounding the final few turns, and it's going to be, yeah, 22nd to second at the end of this one. The championship battle well and truly on between myself and Max. I'll take that very happily indeed.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
It's a performance that our Portuguese Grand Prix winners can be justifiably proud of, and I'm sure there'll be celebrations tonight. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. This result narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Portuguese Grand Prix there. And yeah, after a lot of uncertainty last year, after Imola and Portugal, I think to walk away with 2 podiums is pretty good going there. Sergio Perez, though, takes his first win of the year, 13 seconds clear at the end of that one, ahead of myself and Yuki Tsunoda. Verstappen did sneak back the fastest lap right at the end there by just 4 thousandths of a second over myself, so fingers crossed 2 points aren't going to haunt us come the end of the campaign there. Leclerc in 5th ahead of Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas there, with Aitken, Gasly and Carlos Sainz rounding out the top 10 there. Yeah, the 2 stops didn't quite pay off today for those 2 drivers. Lando and Guan Yu Zhou down in P11 and 12 there, and then you can see the rest of your finishers there. Just Lundgaard and Russell not making it to the checkered flag. Championship-wise means, yeah, the gap at the top back down to 5 points there. Sergio Perez jumps our teammate Pierre Gasly into P3 there. 8 points between them at the moment, but even then the top 4 separated by just 24 points at this stage of the campaign. Ricciardo jumps Aitken into 6th place there. Leclerc jumps Bottas as well, tied on 16 points apiece there, and no other movers further down the order. Constructors-wise, though, Red Bull, after that dub, do take the lead of the Constructors' Championship for the first time this year, but 13 points separates the top 2 teams at the front there. It's definitely going to be another year of 2-2 Motorsport versus Red Bull there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more F1 2021 content.
None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.